Good morning, students. Uh, Today I am teaching you the chapter number 2, Solution, part 4. Earlier I taught you the numericals. Today we are starting with the topic solubility. Solubility, page number 39. You can watch after the numerical which I have given you in the homework example 2.3. Solubility. Now I am explaining what is solubility. Solubility of a substance. Solubility of a substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent at a specified temperature. Okay? It depends upon the nature of a solute and solvent and as well as temperature and pressure. Now I will tell you effect of these factors in a solution of a solid or a gas in a solid. See, I want to explain. Here I didn't write. You take a glass of water, add a pinch of salt and dissolve it. Then solute is going to dissolve in a corresponding solvent. Okay. If I am dissolving, you can see the sea water. In sea water, so many salts are dissolved at a dilute amount. Okay. Solubility of a solid in a liquid. Now, every solid does not dissolve in a given liquid. Like example I said you, NaCl, salt and sugar can be dissolved in water, but naphthalene and anthracene not. But naphthalene and anthracene can be dissolved in benzene, but not NaCl and sugar can't be dissolved in benzene liquid. They will be. So, what is their solubility rate? Polar solutes dissolves in polar solvents and non-polar solutes dissolve in non-polar solvents. Means solute dissolves in a solvent if intermolecular interactions are similar in the two or like dissolves like. If polar, then it will take polar solvent. If polar solute, polar, non-polar, non. Now next, when a solid solute is added to solvent, same solute dissolves and its concentration increases in solution. This process is known as dissolution. Okay, again I am explaining. When a solid solute is added to a solvent, some solute dissolves and its concentration increases in solution. This process is known as dissolution. I am keeping a plain water, and if I am adding some KMnO4 salt or whatever, then their concentration of the corresponding liquid, means water's concentration, is going to increase, and the solid is going to dissolve, and this process is known as dissolution. Okay. Now some solid particles in a solution collide with solid solids particles and get separated out of solution. This process is known as crystallization. Like that you can see from the sea water, when you are going to see so many salts are there, when crystallization is there, but when salt is coming out of water, this process is known as crystallization, salt water. Now the equation solute plus solvent, this both sides I showed you arrow. Already in 11th you are knowing dynamic equilibrium. Then you are getting solution, equation 2.9. Now this dynamic equilibrium is reached when solid particles going into solution will be equal to solid particles separating out. Earlier in 11th you are knowing dynamic solute plus solvent, again solution. Again solution is coming back and giving separately solute and solvent. Now at dynamic stage, the concentration of solute in solution will remain constant under the given condition, that is temperature and pressure. You are knowing very well, sea water is going to up and coming, and again the salt and water is going to be separated. Like that you know. Now saturated solution means such a solution in which two or more solute can be dissolved at the same temperature and pressure. Saturated solution. Saturation means going to dissolve only. At a corresponding level, we can dissolve in 1 liter 10 grams, 20 grams, 50 grams. While, see, I am giving one example. If you are taking a glass of water, add pinch of salt, add more, and add more. At a particular level, the salt can't be dissolved, it more in amount. So at a particular temperature and pressure, the solution Saturated solution means such a solution in which two or more solid can be dissolved at the same temperature and pressure. Now, an unsaturated solution means in which more solid can be dissolved at the same temperature and pressure. The two parameters, temperature and pressure, control the phenomenon of solubility. So, in this chapter of the solution, solubility, we will see the effect of temperature and pressure. First, effect of temperature. Dynamic equilibrium must follow Le-Chatelier's principle. Equation 2.10. If in a nearly saturated solution, the dissolution process is endothermic, means delta H is more than 0, the solubility should increase with rise in temperature. But if it is exothermic, means delta solution H is less than 0, the solubility should decrease. Okay, this is the effect of temperature on solubility. Now see effect of pressure. Pressure does not have any significant effect on solubility of solid and liquid. Solid and liquid. Solid in liquids. Why? Reason, solids and liquids are highly incompressible and practically remains unaffected by change in pressure. So effect of pressure is not significant in solids and liquids. Now we will see the solubility of gas in liquid. Many gases dissolve in water. Oxygen dissolves in water. Oxygen. Okay. Oxygen dissolves in water in small amounts. See, are you drinking cold drinks? Soda water? Okay. So in soda water, what is there? Carbonated water. So in water, they are pressing carbon dioxide gas. Or if you are taking thumbs up or Mirinda, cold drinks, each and every, then in that particularly carbon dioxide gas is going to be dissolved at a particular pressure. Now solubility of gases in liquid is greatly affected by pressure and temperature. The solubility of gases increase with increase in pressure. Page number 41, I am showing you on the textbook. You go through. See the diagram. Page number 41. Figure 2.1, effect of pressure on the solubility of gas. The concentration of dissolved gas is proportionally to the pressure on the gas above the solution. Here you can see the pressure with the help of piston. Here you see the concentration is going to increase. This can be expressed by Henry's law. So what is Henry? Henry was the first to give a quantitative relation between pressure and solubility. Pressure and solubility of a gas in a solvent, which is known as Henry's law. Now what is Henry's law? The law states that at a constant temperature, the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the solubility of a gas is in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas pressure above the surface of liquid or solution. Okay? Dalton also say that mole fraction of a gas in the solution is proportionally to the partial pressure of the gas over the solution. Okay? So, Henry again, the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase P is proportional to the mole fraction of a gas X in a solution. This can be expressed by the equation P partial pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction. Proportional, that is in example 2.1, proportional is removed and P is equal to the Henry's constant, that is Kh dot X mole fraction. Kh is Henry's constant. Okay. Now graph I am showing you this graph by figure 2.2. You see this figure. Okay. Figure 2.2, experimental results for the solubility of HCl gas in cyclohexane is at 293 degree Kelvin. The slope of the line is Henry's constant Kh. So here you can see the partial pressure, here you see the mole fraction, and it is totally going up. This is Henry's constant. Okay. If the partial pressure is increasing or if the number of moles are going to increasing, the partial pressure is going to increase. Yeah, if you are going to increase the partial pressure, then mole fraction are going to increase. Now I will show you that Henry's law constant in a different tables. You see the values of Henry's constant on page number 42. 42 you see helium, hydrogen, nitrogen again, oxygen and oxygen. At the temperature given 293, you are getting KH bar, gaseous organ, then temperature and then their values. So we will solve the numerical increase with increase of temperature. It is due to the reason that aquatic species are more comfortable in cold waters rather than warm water. Okay. So we are doing example 2.4 on this. Henry's constant in example it will be given. We are solving this example. If N2 gas is bubbled through water at 293 Kelvin. Okay, the temperature is given of the nitrogen gas. How many millimoles, moles of nitrogen gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water? Okay, 1 liter of water. Assume that N2 exerts a partial pressure of 0.987 bar. Given that Henry's law constant for N2 at 293 Kelvin is 76.48 kilobar. Okay, kilobar. Now I am solving this. See, we have given nitrogen partial pressure is 0.987 bars kilobars. KH Henry's constant is given 76.48 kilobars, that is given in bars and this is given in. So first of all we will calculate the number of moles of nitrogen. X mole is related P nitrogen and KH constant. From the equation, this equation you can see 2.11. Then partial pressure of nitrogen is given, that is partial pressure of nitrogen is given, that is 0.987 bar. KH Henry's constant kilobar is converted into bars. So total value will come 1.29 into 10 raised to minus 5. Bar will cancel. X nitrogen. We have counted the number of moles. Okay. Now we are coming. X nitrogen is equal to, again in the form of partial pressure we derive. Now we are derived to number of moles. So X nitrogen is equal to number of moles divided by number of moles of water and plus solute. Now here we calculated this X nitrogen, so we can write here this N moles and we can write 55.5 mole. What is 55.5 mole? As 1 liter of water contains 55.5 moles of it. Therefore, if N represents number of moles of nitrogen in solution. So in a solution we are writing water molecules, number of moles. Now N, here again we are coming and we are neglecting this. Why it is negligible? Because N is not countable as it is very less than 55.5. So no need of writing this. Directly we can calculate. We will calculate 1.29 into 10 raised to minus 5 is equal to N divided by 55.5. We removed that. So 1.29, 55.5 will come here is equal to N is equal to, this is called N. Okay. And then we multiply it, you will get 7.16 into 10 raised to minus 4 moles. But in the question they have asked for the millimoles. So for the millimoles, 7.16 into 10 raised to minus 4 per mole into 1000 millimole divided by 1 mole. Okay. So we have to convert this into moles into millimoles. So it will be 0.716 millimoles. M moles means millimoles. So your answer is 0.716. They have asked, what they have asked? They have asked, okay, they have asked, given the Henry's law constant and exerts a partial pressure of this, assume that nitrogen exerts. We have to count the how many millimoles of nitrogen gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water. So in 1 liter of water, 0.716 millimoles can be dissolved. Okay. So you complete these 2 pages from 39. From I have given you from 39, 40, 41 and up to 42. You have to complete the notes. Tomorrow I will teach you another lesson.